Guys, hello, what is up? Yes, I say guys today because fellas, I am talking to you. Why? Why is it just directed at guys today? Well, this doesn't actually apply to the females. This actually just simply applies to the males. And it is something that I come across all too often. It is a fear, a phobia, an anxiety, a paranoia of many men who play with the realms of PEDs. Brad, what are you talking about? I am talking about the post-blast slump. Yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So you've been cruising the waves of the Tren and Primobolan highs. You've had the likes of the full metal jacket, the full suit of armor. You know what I'm talking about here. You feel fucking indestructible, like you can literally run through walls. But this doesn't last forever. There has to be a time where you go into a maintenance, or you lower your dose, or you come off for post-psychotherapy, or whatever the situation may be. We don't blast and cruise, like I don't really like that term. But the period of time where you have to lower your dose, what does this do? What does this create? Why do people get into such a negative headspace for it? You can't blast gear for the rest of your life. You have to cycle, you have to come off, you have to lower, you have to maintain, you have to maintenance, you have to look after your fucking health, basically. But one thing without fail that I see when it comes around to this is the mindset of, oh, but bro, I'm gonna lose all my strength, or oh, I'm gonna lose all my size that I've gained, and oh, you know, it's not good, like I can't, they physically cannot get their head around it. Like, gear is not the be all and end all. Yeah, it's fucking brilliant and it does everything that we want it to do. However, it's this. So it's all in the mind. The mind is where the power is. The mind is where the power is held. Yes, of course, we can't negate the fact that PEDs will give us higher increase in performance, higher increase in anabolism, higher increases in protein muscle synthesis, appetite, breakdown of nutrients, absorption of nutrients, all the goody stuff. However, it's not going to be pulling a plug on a fucking sink. It's not going to be letting the fucking air out of a balloon. You know, you've put in the hard work as well as utilizing those anabolics. So the hard work is what's gained that muscle. You keep that hard work there, or you work out maintenance enough to keep that hard work there, it's not going to disappear. A maintenance, or dropping down into a maintenance, is exactly what it says on the tin. You will maintain. You will not lose. Yes, okay, you might lose some intracellular fluid and some size. That's completely normal. Don't let that mess with this. What am I talking about here? One of the main things is the mindset of this. You know, if you go into that mindset of, you know, the moment I come off, I'm going to lose everything, you might as well fuck off and lose everything then, because you're naturally going to quit. You're naturally going to work softer. You're naturally going to give in more. Like, it's the mindset that I find most frustrating in regards to this. You know, when you've been taking those drugs, you haven't just sat there twiddling your thumbs. You've also been working hard, right? Drugs do not make you work harder. They make you work more efficiently and they allow you to recover better, but they don't make you work harder. The hard work comes from inside. So why is it that when those drugs stop, or when you take them away, you stop working as hard? You don't. It's a mindset thing. It's almost like a placebo thing. You might as well not be taking it if that's the way that you're feeling. Another one that springs up in regards to this is sexual health function, libido, erectile dysfunction. Again, this is something that happens all too often. Men feel that they're not going to be able to perform exactly like they did before. We've all heard of fucking Trendic. We all know what it is. I think even most women know what it fucking is. Yeah, of course, there's going to be an increase in performance. Yes, of course, there's going to be an increase in sexual drive. But that doesn't mean that the moment it goes, you're going to lose that. Bro, don't reach for the Cialis yet. There is more to it than this. What am I talking about again, Brad? Like, you're just not making sense. Okay, so one of the common questions that I get post-show or post kind of high androgen exposure is, I'm really struggling with my libido. I can't get it up. My missus is having problems. Now, yes, this is a factor. It is a factor. However, where is this factor stemming from? Is it stemming from the amount of PEDs that you've been utilizing? Is it stemming from the fact you haven't looked after your health? Or once again, is it coming from this? Because 9 times out of 10, what happens is a male comes round to the act itself and he starts thinking, oh shit, I don't have as much drugs in my system. Am I going to be this raging animal that I was before? Am I going to be able to give the missus a good seeing to? Like, this is all the stuff that happens. This is all stuff that goes through people's minds. Like, Fuck me, I've had this. I'll be surprised if there's not a man who hasn't run anabolics that hasn't had this thought process across their head. What do you think happens when that moment comes? What do you think happens when you start questioning yourself and you start going through that process of, oh shit, what happens if like this ain't the one? What happens if she's disappointed? What do you think is going to happen? You ain't going to be able to do what you need to do. Therefore, you think that your libido is the problem. Therefore, you think that you've got erectile dysfunction. One of the quickest and easiest ways to figure out whether you've got an issue from that is, do you wake up with one? The normal morning thing. If you wake up with one first thing in the morning, you don't have an issue. It's absolutely fine. And that's not to say every single morning, but if you wake up every single morning without one, then there might be some areas that you need to focus on. But 9 times out of 10, it is stemming from mindset. Exactly the same as the strength thing, exactly the same as the size thing, exactly the same as your sexual performance. They're all coming from an active, overactive paranoia or over-analysis in regards to your mindset. So I think the easiest way to kind of wrap this up or, settle some mindsets in regards to this, drugs is not the be all and answer to everything. There was a time where you were performing in all senses without performance enhancing drugs. I'm sure there was a time you went to the gym without them and you were growing nicely, or you were doing what you needed to with the missus quite well without it. So why is it that now it's gone? Does it create an issue? Why is it now that it's gone, it's going to create this negative mindset, which I believe then full circles round to the question is, are anabolic steroids addictive? No, personally, I don't think they are addictive, but I feel that the mindset around them can sometimes become addictive or can create addictive traits, because it's not the drug itself that has addictive tendencies, but what it can bring to the table, or the mindset that it brings to the table, can often become addictive, or a very hard mindset to come away from after you've been exposed to it for so long. Why do people think Tren is such a good drug? It isn't, but on paper, anecdotally, people report massive increases in sexual function, massive increases in visual hardening or more vascular physique, more strength, more aggression within the gym. These are all anecdotal things. Yeah, of course they're going to want that all the time, but is it there all the time? Or is it this mindset of, because 1,000,001 people say that Tren is this miracle drug, that everybody then thinks this is a miracle drug? There's more to it than that. The mind is a very powerful thing, and I think when it comes to bodybuilding, or when it comes to progressive bodybuilding or healthy bodybuilding, we have to keep a level mind of, we can't do this forever. There has to be the ups with the downs. We have to cycle on and off in regards to health. We have to make sure that health and longevity is something that we're looking after. That doesn't just mean physical health, that also means mental health as well. If we find that we're becoming too addicted to the mindset of performance enhancing drugs, is that the right thing for us to do? It's the same, if you compare that to alcohol. If you found that you were having a negative mindset towards alcohol, would you drink as much? Why would it be any different to this? Are these things something that's portraying an emotional issue for yourself? There is more to bodybuilding than this. There's more to relationships. There's more to life. You don't have to let that thing, that compound kind of drive you so much. And I feel that people have this insanely emotional attachment to drugs, dosages, types. There's so many. It sadly is such a male kind of derived thing. I've spoken to many males on consults, and they're so obsessed with the number they're on. I've spoken to people saying that you don't need to run this high, or you don't need to take this, and they instantly think that I'm trying to sabotage their gains. Like, we're not trying to steal your muscle, bro. We're not trying to make you lose your progress. We're not jealous or insecure people as coaches. We're trying to actually make you progress as much as possible, and more is often not more when it comes to drugs. Yes, okay, there is elements and risk versus reward, but if you're a general gym goer and you're banging 600 milligrams of Tren and 600 milligrams of test just to be able to do a one rep max of a 200 deadlift, this is not going to be the one, bro. It's not the one at all. But guys, that is aimed at yourselves. Many of you have probably felt that mindset. Many of you have probably been dealt that hand and you're not too sure where to go with that. It creates anxiety. Men aren't the best at talking about these things. So coming on and just expressing to you that it's very, very normal. The likeliness is you're not feeling those things physiologically. It's more psychologically. It's more the pre-induced sort of paranoia and anxiety of, is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me? How do I fix it? Chill out, relax, unwind. Stop overthinking things like that, because it is the overthinking that will likely cause the issues that you're finding. It's good to take time away from it. it's good to lower dose. It's called a maintenance for a reason. You're going to maintain, you're not going to lose anything. Guys, you are more than welcome. As always, stay tuned and I will catch up with you soon. Much love.